Hey all, Hibber here, welcome back to the channel, and today I will give you my top 5 of the best Nintendo Switch couch co-op games that you can play using just one Joy-Con. So what does that mean? Well, it means that once you've purchased the Switch, any version except the Lite version, you will actually have the Switch itself plus 2 Joy-Cons. So you will be able to play multiplayer games straight out of the box without buying anything else. Now, of course, if you play tabletop mode or docked mode for that matter, you can also choose to play, with the Joy-Cons as one single controller. But in this video here, I'm going to focus on the games that you can play out of the box just using the two single Joy-Cons. To be able to do this, you need to set up the controllers in the way I'm showing here, where you press LR on each individual Joy-Con. In that way, you will have two controllers without having to purchase anything else. So let's get on to the games here, and of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and share if you enjoy the video. So the first game on my list is going to be Rayman Legends. Now this is a wonderful game, and it's fun to play alone, but it's even more fun to play with a friend, which, like I said in the beginning, you can do easily as long as you have a Switch. So the way to do it is really simple. You just start the game, and of course you set up the controllers like I showed you in the beginning, and then it's just a matter of clicking a button basically, and the other player will be assigned a character. And then you're off, and as you can see, the game is really wonderful. It's so colorful, and it's one of the best platformers out there. Now, of course, there's a lot of platforming games on Nintendo Switch, and even Nintendo is pushing out quite a few of those. So you're going to find a few platformers you can play this way, but I still think Rayman Legends is one of the best ones on the platform, and particularly it's one of the best third-party games that you can play. Because obviously there's a few Mario games, and I'll come around to those later in the video. And when I say later in the video, I mean right now. So the next game I'm going to show you here is the Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. It is my favorite Mario game, and probably my favorite Nintendo game on the Switch. And again, in this game, which is a platformer as well, you can play two players. You can actually play up to 4 players, but of course to do that you will need an additional 2 joypads. So in this case here I'm just going to play 2 players, and we're just going to set up the joypads like I showed you in the beginning of the video. Just make sure you do this, and after that you can each choose a character sitting on the couch, and you're ready to play in either tabletop mode, or you can also play in docked mode using this approach here, right? So after you picked your characters, off you go. So most people know Mario, Super Mario, Luigi, and Bowser, and all the characters from Nintendo's very popular games, and also it's one of the oldest, game series out there. So obviously this is something many people would like to play, and it works wonderfully on the Switch. The gameplay is just so smooth, and like this is a platformer that has been tried and tested over decades, and you're going to have a lot of fun playing it. Now remember, there's a whole bunch of similar Nintendo platformers out there. Now I just chose one of them to show you here, my favorite, but of course if Mario isn't your thing, there's Kirby and Yoshi and lots of other options. So keep that in mind. They also support multiplay. Alright, next up I have chosen the series of Lego games. Now again, there's a whole bunch of these Lego games here on Switch, and for this one I've chosen the Jurassic World Lego game. Now this is my favorite, but of course there's a whole bunch of other kinds with Batman and whatever you're interested in really. So the Lego games all work basically the same way. There's a few nuances, right? But of course you can play the games single player if you wish to, but these games in particular are really so much more fun if you can find someone else to play with. And again, adding another player is super simple. You simply just press a button on the second joypad, and off you go. So playing 2 players in the Lego games makes the little built-in puzzles a lot more interesting and a lot more fun to solve. And as you can see here in a minute, I'll show you on the screen. This game here actually works in also split screen, where if you get a little bit too far away from each other, the game will simply split the screen, and once you get close enough back together again, this screen just seamlessly goes back into just one. So this works really well when you're playing, and it means that you can leave each other quite far actually and go do something else somewhere else on the map. So the Lego games are definitely some of the best multiplayer games probably ever made, and on Switch they're even better because it's just so simple to get started, and this is absolutely one of my favorites. Alright, next up we have the Super Mario Party games, and this is again an old series dating back from Nintendo 64, but it's even better these days on Switch. And again, you can play this very easily using the two Joy-Cons from your Switch. Simply boot the game up, and you will be able to pick how many players you actually want to play. So you can choose up to 4 players, but that of course requires that you get another 2 Joy-Cons from somewhere. So this is a Nintendo game, of course, so getting started is super easy. Again, you just pick a character, press the A button, and that's basically it. Now at the moment on the Switch there are 2 Super Mario Party games that you can play. Each of them is good, but I recommend the one I'm showing here, which is Jamboree, but there's also Super Mario Party Superstars. Superstars is a bit older, but the gameplay is the same. If you haven't played Mario Party before, it's kind of a mix of a board game and a regular console game, and it's a lot of fun. And especially if you can scrape together 4 players, you're going to have a great time in this game here. Alright, so the last game I've chosen to show here in the video is pretty much any of the Worms games, and there's a lot available on the Switch store. And the gameplay is pretty much all the same. You have a team of worms, and you have to win the battle by killing or disposing of all the enemy teams. And the gameplay is really addictive, and the modern Worms games are very smooth and a lot of fun to play. So again, getting started here is also exceedingly simple. You simply go into multiplayer and choose a local game, and then you say, oh, I want to add a player. And once you've done that, you press the A button on the second player's joypad. That's all there is to it, and then you hit the start button, and again, off you go. So the Worms games aren't the most popular games out there, but don't let that discourage you. These games are perfect. For example, if you're waiting in an airport or even sitting on a plane, the time flies when you are having fun, annihilating each other's teams in these gems of games here. And there's plenty of Worms games on the store, and they are almost always very cheap, especially you get them at a sale for a couple of dollars. So this is my top 5 of the best games on Nintendo Switch that you can play 2 players by just using single joypads. So let me know in the comments what you think, and of course don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content.